Other for me wako baba LORDSON TV Pro Max. Say oh hey now you subscribe ya. Mr. Subscribe. See ya. You comment it, no I like it, no I share. And I the 7th of January. And the president-elect then is so. And they say, on your president-elect, or the president of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, na wasam and I'm making. Na yade John Dramani Mahama, esi swono. And I say, swani anyway, you know. Ekobase was on man inaugural speech. Na no disem wodi tuja. Na bra odi nkomo no kasa krona mu no. Odura bi na wo se wa appreciate the outgoing president Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. And that is the beauty of democracy. And obi ehun se Ghana, indeed, we have come a long way. We have come a long way. Na mejina sa kwanya we so ebomensem ema MPP mpanyin for especially Nana Addo Akufo-Addo ne Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na omo eyerenom. Because 2020 abufo nti Mahama wa nko inauguration no. Akufo-Addo inauguration we nsiase. And this for nsiase. Others say je na mensa we nsiase. But they were there. After Bawumia conceded a very early defeat. I don't want to be bash and say also tolerable. But for the sake of peace, and see, Midna Sakonya so bought MPP for us my idea for such a statesmanship act. Almost putting up a NRA the 7th of January 2025. Now Mahama fe into ne kasa mu no o appreciate Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. Na onim their friendship comes from way back. Oh, with the video be ba chiro mo say omo start omo politics omo chinye omo wanchi or politics mu way back. They have come this far omo into blue Sudan continue to that my politics in your fe. But the video be barbecue. But answer no enyuma ko bi na so masene. The skin code cosmetics. In compape fee in kwa usrabon so body na fe we tuntum na akokwa ni nyina unko Fred the numbers showing on the screen no. Na ombejo so afi BT Vida jewelry. Be editing jewel. Say wedding ring, engagement ring, promise ring, anklets, bracelets, earrings, necklaces. Be bia ye jewelry. BT Vida offer na obejo so ope ba kwa na do to akoton ni nyina BT Vida no bedi nkomo. The goat master aponche na moya hwaye ne se mpunam de enampede Fred the goat master baby a wo bia wo Ghana ha na ama no ne a omo package ne kama ombe deliver dia brew enya aponche nkwanam bia say nsuo nam fish bit kobi amane adwene enam bia dry bia ombetimi a package no ma deliver Nantwinam bushmeat bia na bia ya dry there. Trust the good master. Ombe deliver kama there ma. Now yen wura nsafufo no but me pese yedi kan akɔhwɛ sa video we eba Mahama and Nana Addo Akufo-Addo seated and obia de na adwene banter upon banter. Satam they were very young. Na omo edo ma dwenkyere about for the good of our motherland Ghana. I'm going to see these two gentlemen.
The kinds this particular, because they're relatively, but they're saying that this particular party, this group of people, are the people who are saying the kinds of things that we want to hear, vis-a-vis the record of the incumbent.
I said that it was a combination of things,
right,
and that we did certain things wrong, and the economic circumstances were adverse. I said so, but I think that when Nana spoke, he said that the populace or the electorate, listened and said, these are people who are saying things we want to hear. And what they were doing was making promises to high heaven, promises that they know in their hearts they cannot realize within the 4-year mandate. They know it. And just because they want to achieve political power. They've made all kinds of promises to the people. They've raised people's expectations so high, you know, and it's easy to make promises. I mean, if we were in opposition and said that we wanted to make promises, you could promise the electorate the moon and deceive them to vote for you. That is essentially what has happened. They've promised them free health, they'll abolish cash and carry, they'll raise salaries 100%, but they know they can't achieve these in the short to medium term.
David, we can't allow the word deceive to pass by on this matter. We have got, I know that they find it difficult to conceive of a Ghana that is prospering because they don't have the mechanics or the formula to produce that Ghanaian prosperity. So that the idea that people can come forward and say that the conditions of poverty that we are in today, there's nothing permanent, natural, or unchangeable about
certainly.
it. Yeah.
Certainly.
That is the statement we're making. We're saying that the present conditions of poverty that the people are in are not things that are either permanent or natural to Ghana.
Yeah, we don't say they're
better
permanent
management,
either.
better policies, well, because they're relatively, but they're saying that this particular
look how Mahama was so young and handsome. They say the Kokolabono Yabum. Nana These were handsome young guys. Ghana politics. Still promoting democracy, promoting tolerance, promoting oneness, unity, unison. One way who almost said they are against each other, they are fighting each other, but I can assure you, sir, they are good together and good for the motherland. Yes, the nation of Ghana. Now, ya to abawi ye kura mpo no Mahama eka se na nado dan kwa kufuado afre no a congratulate no what is afre na bona baso to abawi ya eno akiri omokohia se na Mahama kasa no okansembi o de yenkotie Mahama how we see appreciate Nana Addo dan kwa kufuado e won inaugural speech no as yenkotie mra.
Your Excellency, kindly say after me. This is the oath of allegiance. I.
The circumstances we find ourselves in are indeed dire. But even so, I'll be decisive and swift in my actions. We'll focus our initial efforts on 4 critical areas. The first is economic restoration and stabilization of the macroeconomic environment. The second is the improvement of the business and investment environment to ensure that Ghana is once again open for business. The third is governance and constitutional reforms. And the final, but not the least, is accountability and the fight against corruption. My brothers and sisters, actions have always spoken louder than words. With that in mind, I have entered into a covenant with you, the good people of Ghana, in which I have enumerated 26 actions that I'll take within my first 120 days. It seems fitting that it is with Nana Addo that I twice shared this stage and this unique historical distinction, because Nana Addo and I began our national political careers in Parliament in the same year, 1996. He has always greeted me with warmth, a firm handshake and a smile, and he is perhaps the only person in my life who has persistently chosen to call me Johnny. While we belong to opposing political parties, we shared a sense of mutual respect. In those early days, we probably could not have imagined that destiny would bring us to the leadership of our respective parties, and that we would have to face off 3 separate times as we each vied for the highest office of the land. Nana, as this will be our final meeting under these circumstances, and as I look back on the journey we have traveled together, two much younger men who entered Parliament together with a full head of black hair, and you with the same bald head and round eyeglasses, I have to say that you have, without exception, been a worthy opponent.
How appreciating an Addo for no, and some more kind, no, it show after elections. Now more share, now more discuss it. Transition team, kwamba faswa, more near my na and effect. If I go ahead video, no so abazi here. Young Mahama and Akufo-Addo sit laughing together, planning for Ghana the way forward before 7th January inauguration. No, Mushia. Almost.
That's what is happening. Mr. President,
thank you.
Elect.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. President. As I said when I spoke after the declaration of results, I mentioned that His Excellency the President had given me a call to congratulate me. And so I had the opportunity to thank him this morning for being that gracious to give me that call. We had a very cordial meeting. At the time he called, he suggested 11 a.m. this morning to have the preliminary meeting towards setting up the transitional team. And that meeting has just ended. It was very cordial. And I think we were very happy to be together. Mr. President has given me a brief on the security situation, both internal and external, and also a short brief on issues to do with the economy. Of course, the transitional teams will drill down further into these matters, but I am happy at the assurance he's giving us that we're going to work together in the interest of Ghana to ensure a seamless transition. And I believe that even after that transition, it will be necessary for us to continue to keep a channel of communication so that Ghana's democratic credentials are consolidated and we all work together in the national interest. And so I want to thank him for his time and to assure him that on our side, we are very happy to work together, and we'll look forward to the successful work of the Joint Transitional Team. I thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. There will be no questions. Which will take place at the conference center. I believe we're back to where we began in 2017. It was the same venue, African democracy, and Ghana has the privilege of being in the category of successful democracies on our continent. It is our responsibility, our joint responsibility, to make sure that that reputation is maintained and consolidated. So this is the reason why I wanted to invite you here, so that we could have this first informal meeting, as it were, and then we will then be in a position to go towards the formal meeting this afternoon.
I want to express my sincerest appreciation to you for that phone call you gave me, congratulating me. I think it was a good mark of statesmanship. And it gives me a sense of deja vu, like you said, to be back here again after so many years. Members of my team, I'm sure they're all familiar. Nana, who you referred to, General Mosquito, Julius Debra, our former Chief of Staff, and Madame Valerie Sawyer, and then Dr. Kalisus Mahama, who used to be the head of the local government service in our time, but working as the administrator in my office. And then my niece, Joyce Bauer, who is my spokesperson. And so we want to thank you for the courtesy and privilege giving us such short notice to pay this courtesy visit, and to say that democracy and Ghana is the winner after the electoral process. We think that on the day, despite all the anxieties people had, Ghana has successfully done it once again. And so we can be sure that our democracy is safe, and that working together across bipartisan lines, we can continue to deepen and consolidate that democracy. As you said, we're grateful that you nominated today to go through the beginnings of the transitional process. And we nominated our members. They were selected mostly based on institutional memory and experience. These are people, most of who worked with me in the former administration. And so we wanted some people with experience to combine with yours so that we're able to have a seamless transition. And so I want to thank you once again and to thank the Ghanaian people for rising up to the occasion. And we look forward to continuing to work together.
So you look at all these. Now, oye NDC ni, oye MPP ni. Now so the other chesekai, o the other twatu. Ay, ma buy na ba me kunipa. Ay, also wa buy na ba yam yare. Enkusiaga. Let's all come together as these two gentlemen and look for the betterment of our nation, Ghana. You be a bit me ayebia no aye de aboa Ghana na ye koyenim. Uguzo ahe LORDSON TV Pro Max. Say unsubscribe we am a part of subscribe. Hit the notification bell, comment and share. But me follow your mother channel LORDSON TV and so. I also say all like no share no comment no subscribe. But me following all other social media handles. Say TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and so. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
LORDSON TV Pro Max.